Warning, this podcast contains spoilers.
Hey everyone, welcome back to ASOTV podcast for Riverdale Season 2, Episode 5, Chapter 18, When a Stranger Calls. With me, I'm Nikki, and with me tonight I have Kim, Jake, and Chrissy.
Hello.
How's everybody tonight?
Good.
Barely in the dark tonight.
What did you guys think of this episode?
I hate this episode.
You hated this
A
episode.
good hate or a bad hate? Because I good hated this episode.
Riverdale. The writer's episode. What's your ID number, huh?
It was, a lot of it was very frustrating. I do have to agree.
Juggy, no! That was the whole episode. I'm like, no.
I think this whole episode was a bunch of no, because you got Betty being dumb. You got Ronnie trying to impress an old friend, doing all the bad things,
Yeah.
and then you got Jughead making stupid decisions too,
Yeah.
and then
But I mean,
Yeah.
alright. I think Jughead's stupid decisions were the most justified out of everybody's stupid decisions this episode.
Well, he was doing it to protect people.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
until Archie got his little red head into it, and because I know we're kind of jumping to the end here, but Betty told Archie to tell Jughead they need a break, not to break up.
Yeah.
But as soon as he saw that Jughead was with the serpents, he's like, "Oh, she's been waiting weeks to break up with you. It's been heartbreaking, and you're a useless piece of meh." And it was like, "Whoa, Archie,
He was using his own feelings into the situation, which was bad.
And I think the problem is, even if he did, say she wanted a break, he probably still would have felt abandoned and probably still would have turned to What's-Her-Face, who I like.
Yeah.
She's really cool, but I was just like, as soon as they
Between
were alone at the end, it's just like, no.
That was
There's
quick.
no coming back
Too
from
quick.
this!
Back. Did the thing. If he is going to do the thing, I don't want him to do the thing because I like Tony. I do. I don't like her with any, and I don't like Jughead with anybody else.
Yeah.
Not yet. I think Archie, what you need to do is you need to go. You need to go for a run. You need to go one of those teen angsty runs, and then you need to forget why you're running, so that you keep running until you remember, but you never remember and you don't come back.
Yeah,
So
you end
pull
up in,
Forrest Gump?
Yes, pretty much.
I wouldn't be
I mean-
opposed to that.
See, I liked him when, he was with Ronnie dealing with Nick St. Clair. I felt that his part in that particular situation was okay until the party. It was him, making sure that Ronnie didn't go over the edge. I feel like if he wasn't there when he first offered her that little bit of drugs, she would have taken it if Archie wasn't there. So up to a point, I feel like Archie was okay in that regard. But when it's funny because Archie was in the episode, but he wasn't the focus. It was Betty this episode. She was the focus this episode. She went through so much shit.
Yeah.
So much shit. And although she's being dumb, she's also being very smart about it. She's being appealing to this crazy person is a bad thing, but it's also a good thing because it's keeping him distracted, like she said.
Mm-hmm.
She also got some information about things that she wouldn't otherwise have gotten.
Mm-hmm.
Like the deal on her mom. Not that it was a good thing that she put that information out to everybody, but it was good for her to know so that she can be like, Mom, you're a hypocrite.
Yeah.
And, you know.
I loved that happened, that she put that out there. So I'm like, I fucking hate the mother.
Yeah.
Everything out of her mouth, I just want to strangle her.
Alice Cooper is crazy.
I love
Ugh.
I loved her in scene when she rolled up in that dress, dress thing. I was all like, "Bam, bitches!"
Yeah,
with the snake, with the snake on her neck.
Great.
I'm all like, "Oh shit!"
That was a
If
great
it weren't
scene.
her against Black, fucking take down the Black Hood. She would fucking take down anybody in this town. She's like, you know, you mess with my fucking daughters, I will kill you, and no one will know.
And that's why, you know, when she bashes the South Side so bad, it kind of like, it hurts a little bit because she's being very South Side about protecting her family. Because the South Side, they're very like, you know, they're out there, they're throwing the punches, they're making sure people can hear and see what they're doing. That's exactly what Alice is doing. She's
take the girl out of the South Side, but you can't really take her out of the South Side.
Exactly. So like, yeah, she is the one that she's very forward about what's going on, but like there are certain ways she could approach things where it would be a little bit more receptive for everybody, and you know, it wouldn't hurt feelings. But I do agree that the whole scene after, you know, there was like, she was exposed, her name was degraded, and even her own husband was like, yeah, she's not coming. And then she walks in, she's got that real sexy outfit on, and it helped that the song that was playing with that strut, it made all the difference. It was a really good scene.
The husband's like, where the fuck did you get that? Part missing.
Hal is just, he's so oblivious. Like, did he even know that she was a Southsider? I'm assuming he did.
I don't.
Must have.
Well, you know, because they've been together for like ever.
Maybe
Well, they've been around each other.
No. Because they went to high school together.
Yeah.
But we know that there are at least 2 high schools in this town. But she didn't go to Southside.
Because we do know that, because they were going to the same high school, which was the same high. Even FP was going to the same high school as them, though. So maybe the Southside school wasn't running then.
They opened it later.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe
to separate them later.
Yeah, like a segregation kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, but Alice, not only is she, you know, crazy and, you know, she's bashing the Southsiders left, right, and center. She's also blaming Betty and Jughead for writing the letters because they seemed inconsistent. She's saying that Betty did it out of boredom.
Well, do you blame anybody in this fucking town?
No.
They
I
got
didn't.
something.
You know,
Taking all the hot spots.
I've lived in a small town that probably has a lot less than Riverdale, and I can say that I never got that bored.
No, because you know what to do in small towns? You go play in the woods and do something stupid.
That's an important detail. That is, if the handwritings don't match, then Black Hood's either working with someone or there's more than one Black Hood.
Or
they have multiple personality disorder.
It's gonna be
Would
this
that
whole.
affect the handwriting?
It would.
It can.
Yep.
Okay.
Because it can change the way your strokes are, and that changes your handwriting.
Yeah.
Even when a person goes through a mood change, if say you're writing and you're happy, you got perfect cursive, you know, it's just it's a nice feeling to be writing. But like if you're in a bad mood, things get scratchy. You know, sometimes your writing does fluctuate with your moods and how you're feeling. So if you are a different person for who knows how long, your brain works differently. But I mean, that's it feels kind of like to say that that Blackhood might be multiple disability, whatever words right now. But I feel like that would be inconsistent the way that, every time he made a call to Betty, it was very consistent. The tone was always the same. The presence of the voice, it was always the same. Like he just like not only is he saying that her and him are the same person basically, but he's just very obsessive. It's like he's that high school crush stalker person.
I'm getting more. I'm leaning more and more towards that it's the brother, because the whole blonde hair, green eyes. They all have blonde hair and green eyes.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we want to think.
What brother? Wait, hold on.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
okay.
I've been absent. I binge watched the last
It's actually
couple episodes.
a theory from last season.
It is
because
I wasn't around last season.
Alice Cooper, Betty's mom, got an abortion in high school.
Okay.
But it,
right.
it
wasn't.
We found out she had the baby.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't want to go through with the abortion, but she wasn't ready. She was still in high school, so she put the baby up for adoption. It was male, and so Sandra Dee and Polly do have a brother. In the comics, they do have a brother. His name is Chick. Don't know if Mrs. Sandra Dee's mom had named the baby. If we are going by what Sandra Dee and Polly and Alice look like, with their green eyes and their blonde hair, it's possible that Chick, or the brother, is the Black Hood.
Yeah. It would also explain why he feels this connection with Betty.
Yeah.
And why he's so adamant on Sinners, because being pregnant before marriage
With your husband.
So it's that's a sin, and especially with like highly religious people. So I'm assuming that if that is the brother, he either got adopted by a very religious family, or
to a religious orphanage.
Yes, or a religious orphanage. So, just
well,
to be like,
where Polly was. So.
Yeah.
Or he's just crazy.
Or he's just crazy. Yeah, we don't. It's
all of the above.
Yeah, but I feel like they would go, because they have, like, especially even in this episode, they touched on a lot of things of like darker tones where it's controversial, and religion, politics, and a lot of other like stuff like that. When they come into TV shows like this, they are controversial. And so to bring a religious sociopath, psychopath into the mix, and just I feel like, I don't know. He might just be like, you know what, you sinned because you smoked a cigarette, or it might just be just his personal agenda. But I feel like he ended up in an orphanage where it was run by nuns or something. And it was just instilled in him that, sins are, punishable.
The fuck not.
So Black Hood gave Betty the article about her mom. He makes Betty basically disconnect with Veronica.
We got a little bit of Dark Betty.
I feel like Dark Betty before was her actually being Dark Betty. This time it was just her, just forcing it out because she had to be mean about it. She had to make sure she severed that connection, even though she didn't want to.
I meant the end.
But I think these are steps towards Dark Betty.
Yeah.
And the naming of a person at the end are steps towards Dark Betty.
Yeah, so like all the steps were, exposing her mom, disconnection from Veronica, which was actually pretty harsh.
It was really harsh.
It was really harsh.
She went, like, I think a little farther than she needed to go.
I think she wanted to be sure though, because Black Hood
Yeah.
was threatening Polly's life. So after that, she asked Black Hood a question, will I recognize the face under the hood? He says yes. So if it's her brother, has she seen him before? Is he just like, you know, playing a part in her
Well,
life?
Or
Totally possible No, go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say, or he looks so much like their family that she will recognize him instantly as her brother.
Maybe.
I was thinking that maybe he's been around and they don't know that he is.
Yeah,
who
maybe
he is.
he was like playing a school teacher or something that she's actually had a class in or something, you know, just that kind of like almost undercover kind of deal.
Now I'm trying to think of the faces of all their teachers.
Don't see their teachers other than, you know, Mrs. Robinson, but she's dead. And as far as I can tell, the Black does not have teachers.
Wait, but that would explain why she would have recognized him, because they said that it wasn't a break-in, because they're like, it must have been someone that she knew, because it wasn't a break-in.
Well, there are three.
So if he was also a teacher.
There are three strong, prominent theories that the fan community has come up with, and one is that it's her brother, or that it's her father, which would explain why he knows all this shit.
Or that it's both.
Wait,
I'm kidding.
wait, what?
And then,
I'm kidding.
maybe not.
Well, we already got cousins, yeah, Polly and the thing and the.
But I mean, we got I don't want to say pretty good look, but those aren't her father's eyes under the hood that Archie's been seeing over and over again.
We don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, no, they could. It would make sense. I don't know if I like that, but it would make sense why he knows the shit that he does, and you know the things like where Polly is, and about the book that gave her the clue last week.
Mm-hmm.
The other theory is that it's Sheriff Keller.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at his face better in the next couple episodes, or even go back and watch him in this one again, like rewatch this episode.
Isn't Black Hood in the comics? He's an ex-cop.
Yes. So that's probably where they're making the connection there. Why that theory came to be.
Explains why he's a fucking terrible sheriff.
Yeah, it does explain
Honestly,
a little bit.
I don't think he's a terrible sheriff. I think he's just not working with a full deck.
Oh, I
In terms
mean,
of
there's
resources.
one lieutenant and maybe a secretary with a police station that has one cell, so you know we're good in the sheriff's department. It would be interesting if it was him, if he's getting rid of all the sinners, but he has a son who's gay, and they seem like they have a really close relationship. They always have, and we've never seen Sheriff Keller like ever ridicule or even not even crack jokes with Kevin.
I don't think, like, though I know we're talking about the religious route. Obviously, I don't think maybe it's a religious route because we haven't had any inclination that he's going towards that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying if that's what it was, it'd be a weird reverse thingy if he's killing all these sinners, yet he leaves Kevin alone.
Yeah,
Right.
because, you know, a lot of people do consider that sinful, which...
With the religion, yes.
Yes, with religion. And then after Ronnie, that's when the Jughead thing came.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we talked about, and how Archie stuck his dirty fingers in there.
Well, Betty asked him to.
Well, yeah,
And
but then he
asked him-
took it to...
He went too far, yeah.
Yeah. She just wanted a break. She just wanted to tell him, you know, we need a break. And then Archie took it to, no, she's been wanting to break up with you for weeks. So, yeah, it definitely was, you know, that whole scene really ticked me off.
It also came right after the warning from, that he was going to lose everything. If you join the Serpents, you're gonna lose everything.
Yeah.
But Betty's question to him, to Black Hood, after that particular command, no, what he wanted from her was to break up with Jughead. So after that, she asked him, what will make you stop? And he's like, your devotion. So, like, he's going in, like, it's a weird thing. It's like, we know he's obsessed with her, but he also wants her to kind of return the feelings. And it's just so weird, especially the way that he phrased it. And she just kind of, like, had this really almost, like, it was disgusted and confused at the same time on her face, like the whole expression on her face. And then the very last one, where he calls her out and he's like, you've been talking to Archie, I told you not to talk to anybody, I'm gonna go kill Polly. And she was like, no. And then even before that, she asks him, who are you? And he tells her to go to a house in the middle of nowhere.
I can't believe she did that. I was seriously like, you're fucking kidding me right now.
Well, I
thought, look in a mirror.
Yeah, because they're the same person.
Yeah. But
or they are, like, the same or something. But, like...
But that leads me to believe that the whole brother theory is true.
Mm-hmm.
Because saying, you'd recognize me, even though she may never have met him, and then showing her the mirror means that maybe I look like you. Not just we're the same ideologically, which she claims.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was getting, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it is Betty, and she's doing all this shit and pre-recording it.
Just moving back and forth really quickly.
So we have a dark side Betty, and she doesn't realize she's doing it, so she's got the split personality. So
Yeah.
she's
Yep.
Betty, around putting on this costume, are you using binders or whatever in the chest area? How are you doing all this?
Well, what if she's not working by herself? What if there is two people?
Yeah, that
what
would
if it's her
explain
and
different handwritings.
yeah?
Mm-hmm. I don't know, but she gives him Nick St. Clair's name at the end of the episode, and we're gonna get into Nick in just a second because we're gonna move on to Ronnie and her bullshit, having to deal with her dad's business. And the St. Clairs are actually somebody, a family from New York that are kind of like endorsing and, you know, supporting his businesses or his ideals, his ideas in Riverdale to basically wipe out the South Side and replace it with luxury bullshit.
Yeah.
And who the fuck could afford this in this motherfucking town?
And where the fuck are all the poor people gonna go?
They don't care. They don't care. But the whole point of Nick is so that, you know, Hiram wants Veronica to entertain Nick so that he can get a good review and have complete backing by the St. Clairs.
Nastiness.
And what got me all confused was, like, she's got this very nonchalant attitude about her old fling. Just, like, talking about him freely, and maybe it's because I once I was done with someone, I, like, never saw them ever again. Or I tried my very hardest not to.
The way she explained it was that he was into her, but she never was into him,
Yeah.
but she considered him a friend anyways.
Mm.
So, I mean, it's easier for her to be able to, like, accept him back into her life because to her, he was only a friend. Ever.
Oh, okay.
So,
I don't know why I thought she made it seem like they had an actual thing and not, like, a pretend thing.
Maybe they did have a thing and she really regretted it.
Mm.
Because, I don't know, it seemed like, I think old Veronica would probably do something like that. Like
Mhm.
maybe it was then she realized that she's a lesbian, and like she's like, I am not going down that path again.
I got a
Yeah, she's a lesbian. That's why
friend
she's dating
vibe.
Archie.
A friend in
A friend.
parentheses.
So you'll be
Yes.
surprised. All the fans they just claim that she's a lesbian. I'm
Oh
like,
no! I made the. It was more of a joke towards Archie. It wasn't a good joke. I'm sorry.
Well, Nick, which is her friend, he has drug problems. He's just a problem. He's just a walking problem. And I am
Drugs don't make excuse for what he did.
No.
I'm sorry.
no, not at all. Because, not only did he have drugs in the beginning when there was no party, he had drugs at the party that he threw for all their friends, and then also at the open house where they were talking about wiping out the South Side.
and where are you getting all of these drugs?
Well, we know that the Jingle Jangle was provided by Reggie.
Is it
Yeah.
Jingle Jangle though? I don't think it is, because it's an upper. Right?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that was at the party. Yeah, that was definitely the upper that they had and that's the party where Betty
He had
basically
coke.
tore out. Yeah, he had Coke for the
Coke.
very beginning.
Yeah, and then Jingle Jangle at the party, and then he
And-
had a date rape drug
Yes,
at the.
at the open house, and that's where he got Cheryl. And I was very uncomfortable because I saw it coming.
Yeah.
Even just the way that she walked in and he was apologizing to Veronica, drinking ginger ale, and just that look at Cheryl. I was like, he's gonna do something to Cheryl
Well,
immediately.
Miss Honey Cabbage, I don't see you stooping so low to someone like that. I mean, I figured that you would probably go for Kevin before you go for him.
He had money.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
I
as
think
soon as she saw him,
hmm
she started like flirting. So
She
The name.
Well, you know-
She heard the name. She
Yeah.
started.
yeah,
She introduced herself as the Riverdale it girl.
yeah,
So
Oh,
she
I-
wanted to impress him from the very get-go.
yeah, but you know what, Miss Honey Cabbage, you could do so much better. See, you're old money. Your parents would never approve of this anyway. But
She don't care.
Why is she Miss Honey Cabbage? Again?
I don't know. I started calling her that. I started calling her that in the first episode, and I have no idea where it came from.
Okay.
Miss Honey Cabbage.
Cool.
I mean, Veronica and the open house with the pussycats, that was interesting. But then
Guys, been.
and then Nick,
Beat the crap out of him.
they kicked the shit out of him.
Yeah, that was great.
Yes,
That was
came out.
fantastic.
I not only was I completely just like I was cheering, even though when it comes to things you shouldn't be cheering, but I was cheering because it's not often people get punished for that kind of stuff. They usually get away with it. And
It is. This is obviously a very. I mean, right now this is going a lot in the media right now. It's huge in the media right now
yeah,
with like big stars and all this stuff and everything. The Me Too hashtag. It's everywhere. So to hit something so like controversy right now was wow. I was surprised actually. But
I was I was surprised. I was very shocked that this came to like it happened. Like as soon as he dropped that pill in the champagne glass, I was like, wow, they're really doing this. And then it came to the end where the Pussycats and Veronica, beat him up, and Cheryl's pressing charges, and it was just like it felt satisfying that someone's gonna get their due. And I feel like he's not because of his name, and Hiram is gonna somehow get him out of it or something just because Veronica was basically the head on the operation to take Nick down, and
I don't think Red Hood, the Black Hood, and Betty or anything.
Yeah.
that too. I mean, the Black Hood's going to be involved. So, I mean, not only does he have a target on his back from the police, but also now Black Hood.
I honestly think Black Hood's gonna get to him first.
We're gonna have he's gonna be dead.
Well, it's been a while since he decided to off somebody.
Well, he's decided to off some people. He's just really bad at it.
Well, I mean, he's better than the average schmo because he hasn't been caught yet.
Because he doesn't need to be caught because the person who is supposed to be catching him is him.
Whoa.
I have a hard time seeing it as Sheriff Keller.
So do I.
So,
Roll the clip.
Jake, are you on the sheriff train? Or do you still think it's the brother?
I think, well, my initial theory was that it's the brother, and I'm going to stick with it being the brother, but I'm going to play with the idea of Sheriff Keller. I'm going to go back and compare the faces because I'm interested in this now.
Keller, I don't think Sheriff Keller has green eyes.
Well, I just saw a picture of the actor who they cast to play Chick, and it doesn't look like him at all.
I'm gonna have to go look that up later too.
Yeah, me too.
I'm sorry, I don't know. Every time you say do you think it's this person or this person? I just want to say both.
It's everybody.
Everybody's Cylon.
I'm expecting a V for Vendetta thing at the end of this. He's just everyone's wearing either a black mask or a red one.
Society within Riverdale, and I don't put it past this fucking town to have one. It's Sabrina, y'all. It's Sabrina.
Or it's
She's
Salem.
just changing her faces. With
no,
magic.
it's Salem.
He gets turned into Salem at the end of the season.
Oh shit!
Yeah, because he done bad.
That's true.
He's been punished.
We just
So really, all that's left to talk about is Jughead, and we're all, I think, a little disappointed that he even started. But I mean, he did it because he wanted to protect people, not just Betty and Archie and his friends, but also make sure that the Serpents weren't doing anything stupid like making a pipe bomb and blowing up buildings.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea. He should have told somebody, anybody, preferably his father.
Mm-hmm.
But he told no one and just went on with it, and that was the bad part of the idea.
Yeah. He definitely should have had a talk with FP about joining the Serpents, or maybe, if he's going to join the Serpents, how to go about it, and
ask him how he did it.
How he did it, how he, gained control. It sounds like the initiation happens to every last one of them, doesn't matter if you have good intentions or not.
Mm-hmm.
So, first they give you a dog to take care of.
That was funny.
We've actually seen Hot Dog before. I think it was in season 1. It was very brief. And then you have to learn a bunch of laws, a salute, basically. You would learn in the military. And then he had to retrieve a knife.
Yeah.
Retrieve a knife from a
rattlesnake.
A rattlesnake in a cage, and it actually bites him.
Yeah.
So, of course, we didn't get to see that. It was all off screen, but you saw him sitting there with Tony being like, you guys made me put my hand in a cage with a rattlesnake and it bit me. She's like, don't worry, it had no venom glands. It's whatevs. It just hurt a little bit,
You just feels like you got, stabbed a little.
Yeah, because he went, they said you got to grab the knife, and he, was a little hesitant but went right for it. And if that were me, I'd be like, is that one of them there poisonous snakes?
It's a rattlesnake, so yeah.
Yes, so yeah.
Just go into this whole biological, scientific questionnaire of what is this snake?
What antidote do I need?
I didn't really get a good look at it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
They did mention it was a rattlesnake, so.
Well, there's multiple breeds of rattlesnakes.
Yeah. Where did they get a rattlesnake? Maybe in
snakes that they just conveniently have.
There's rattlesnakes in other parts of the country. They're just mostly the Southwest.
And there are
I feel like there would be some there.
there are also illegal animal trades, so they could get it from somebody who's bringing it from a different part
That's
of the
true.
country.
It's
Yeah.
the
Which would
south
explain
side.
they'd probably remove the glands too for them.
Yeah. No, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I never even thought of like, because of their market trades and stuff, that they'd be able to get a snake that easily. Like nonchalant, just I just need a snake, and they're like, and they just hand you one.
I got you, fam.
And then, after the whole traumatizing breakup with Archie through Betty through Archie, he went through the gauntlet trial.
Where they just beat the shit out of you.
It's like in the old, especially like in Greece, they have that like everybody makes like that with their hands. They kind of make like an arch, and the people run through all happy with their partner and they're dancing. Except it's not that. It's the exact opposite. It's still a line of people, but you're walking through slowly, getting your ass beat. Instead of being happy, it's a very, very dark and morbid tone. And
And
I
it's
swear to God, at the end where he got hit with the brass knuckles by Sweet Pea, he was out, like
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
But he stood back up and he was just like, yeah, okay, whatevs. And they, I'd be pissed that somebody used brass knuckles on me. Like, I would be not giving him a high five after that. I'd be like, you're a fucking asshole. I'm gonna make sure you get your due.
you take the brass knuckle. I'm gonna beat someone's ass. Okay, like
Well,
this was
isn't that how like that's the initiations usually work? They beat the living shit out of
no contract with y'all.
I feel like nearly if he got hit right with those brass knuckles, he would have been done for. Like permanent brain damage. And how are you supposed to build a family if you're basically making them all like dead people, like vegetables in a chair? How do you build a society like that? It doesn't make any sense. I guess it's just like I don't understand a gang mentality, if that's even what it is, but I don't know. I mean, I've seen, frat house initiations. That shit's just stupid, but,
Well, they
this is
make you do
crazy.
stupid things. They don't beat you. They
Yeah.
make you run around naked or freaking
Well, it
cover
kind
you
of
in.
started. The initiation kind of started out like that. They
Yeah.
gave him a dog named Hot Dog, and the rattlesnake. I thought that was gonna be the worst of it, but
Some frat houses did beat the shit out of you. That's what the paddles were for.
This is true. The paddles. Forgot about that.
yeah,
That's why that always made me feel uncomfortable. Like when people did decorate your own paddle. I'm like,
no.
oh, okay.
I'll take a paddle over a punch. Just saying.
I don't know.
Depends on where the paddle hits me.
Good point.
At least with the fist, the other guy's hurting too.
That's true.
If he throws
Especially
the
if
punch wrong.
Exactly. But I mean, they seem to be hitting him in the nice, squishy parts of the gut and then the side of the head.
Gut and the foot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they were just all gonna hit him in the gut, and then the one guy punched him in the face, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, all of a sudden they just changed bases when there was a fist in
it
the
was
face.
all gut punches until brass knuckles.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. And then after that, it happened to be the big smooch with Tony. But that was her swooping in while he was vulnerable.
Yeah, pretty much.
I blame that on
Did she
her.
really realize that though? Because she wasn't there for when he was getting the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah, she was.
She was, and she found out about Betty like 10 seconds before the kiss. Like he's like, yeah, well, that's not going to be a problem anymore, because she was saying like, oh, you're going to have to tone it down with Betty, and he's like, that's not a problem anymore. That's a non-issue.
They were she was literally waiting, just waiting for the moment.
Yeah. So that was definitely her jumping in and sweeping him off his feet because he was feeling hurt.
Can I be taking advantage of people's emotional states like that?
No.
This is where Tony lost points for me.
Yeah.
And relationships never work that way either.
Mm-mm. No, Tony was she was pretty cool until this point. Like like you said, she lost points. I mean, she's probably still gonna be cool, but I feel like we kind of speculated this a few episodes ago. We're like, Tony, and it's gonna be, it's gonna be that love triangle thing where one person likes another, and the two people are interested in and now that Betty is somewhat out of the picture, not that she wants to be, but that leaves Jughead feeling hurt and Tony being able to pick up the pieces. So
Yeah. And I mean, I didn't really think about it when the episode was happening, but he definitely feels abandoned. He's like across town. He doesn't see them that often, and then Archie out of the blue comes and says, "Oh yeah, she's breaking up with you," and then it's like he's lost everything.
Mm-hmm. Because he lost his mom and his sister. We found this out first season, and then his dad got ripped away because of Mr. Blossom being a complete douchebag and throwing him under the bus.
Yeah.
So even though he didn't do the deed, he's serving for other things he's done in the past. And now Betty. So yeah, he's definitely feeling so lonely right now.
Oh God, that's the nail. That's the last nail in the coffin. If somebody just like steals this house.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else you guys want to discuss?
Well, we need to talk about how fucking adorable Kevin is, and that it's damn cool that he's been in more episodes.
And I said it in the very first episode. I was like, they said that Kevin's going to be a reoccurring character, that he's going to have more time, and I said I just hope that they don't spread out that time within all the episodes and give him 10-second scenes in every episode. And that seems to be.
Can we have more of that, please?
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. They're giving us 10-minute, not even 10-minute scenes, 2-3 minute scenes of Kevin doing something goofy, saying something great, and then leaving it at that.
He has been reverted to the gay best friend, which is not what Kevin is, because they defied that trope in season 1. You did such a good job, and like you reverted back. We're going backwards, Riverdale, and like we can't have that because, well, first of all, I just love the actor because he's awesome, and also I like the character because this is the type of gay character that I want to see on the TV, and and again, he's fucking adorable. Look at that. Look!
He is adorable.
He is one of the better looking characters on Riverdale.
And I love, so Cheryl was describing him as like, he still sees himself as frumpy, but he's fucking hot.
Mm-hmm.
I just love the way Cheryl talked about him.
I'm not talking about his looks. I'm just talking about his whole essence. He's like just a little baby child.
And like I did notice him like at the party. Him and Cheryl were together, sitting there chilling on the couch together. It seems like they're bigger besties than Betty and Kevin are now, which I'm okay with. Maybe it'll make Cheryl less crazy, or maybe it'll make Kevin a little bit more outgoing. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, more Kevin. We need that. I'd like to see more of the Pussycats, more than the back of their heads,
Yes.
please. I feel like we didn't get to see their faces at all, and they just had stand-ins.
Melody, you could talk now. I don't know if you realize this.
Mm-hmm.
She had like one line.
I mean, that's more lines than she's had previously.
Well, Melody, now you gotta sing, because like lately you have just been lip syncing the words to the songs, and like they haven't even been the right words. The Pussycats just like play the track for you while you like.
Ooh, that's bad.
Which I actually found it very impressive that they could finish their song while following Mr. Nick the rapist. It was going on over them beating the shit out of him. Like, that's some skill when you can finish the song and go stop a rape.
It's like they threw their voices as they were kicking his shit in, you know?
But you know how some people can throw their voice? They threw their body.
They like split themselves in two.
What do they
What
put
they
in-
call that? Astral projection or something?
Yeah.
I mean, if they're bringing Sabrina in, there's got to be some magic going on.
There you go.
And with that, I think we're gonna talk about next episode called Chapter 19, Death Proof. After a charge led by Mayor McCoy threatens to further escalate tensions between Northside and Southside, Jughead, along with Archie, tries to put a stop to a dangerous alliance being considered between the Serpents and a longtime rival. Betty turns to Veronica for help when she's thrust into the center of a burgeoning mystery surrounding the Sugar Man.
The Sugar Man?
What?
Another psycho killer?
The Sugar Man, or like
sh-
the talking about the Jingle Jangle, maybe.
Maybe it's the person
maybe
who
we'll
made
find
the
out where that drug's
Yeah.
coming from. Yeah.
maybe. And finally, Cheryl confronts her mother Penelope after a traumatic run-in forces her to make a stark realization.
Oh, where's she been?
Penelope?
Mama Honey Cabbage. Where's she been?
Stuck in
Bed.
their little hovel that
Yeah.
looks like it was taken over by DC's Poison Ivy.
A little hovel? That's a huge house. Or was that how Cheryl referred to it? She called it a hovel?
It's actually kind of a tiny. It's more like an Archie-sized house, just like open.
Cottage. An open
Yeah.
cottage.
It still looked pretty big.
Well, they have their house and that burnt down, and then they have a mausoleum in the back. They probably have a cemetery in the backyard and a dragon chained under the basement.
Where are my dragons?
And Nana Rolls, where are you?
Yeah.
We still don't know where she's at.
Where did she fucking go?
It's in the woods.
She's like gonna magically appear one day. Just...
I feel like when the babies are born, that's when we're gonna see her again, which seems to be it's
She
gonna
needs
be
to.
happening soon.
Well,
I
Nana
think.
Rolls. I still don't know if Nana Rolls realizes that she's related to Polly. That's an interesting conversation that we need to have.
I think she knew.
Yeah.
I think she knew from the get-go.
You got issues that we need to talk about encouraging this whole marriage, unless you know that Jason really wasn't a blossom.
It's like a distant cousin thing. It's not as
They
bad
weren't
as
that
it looks.
distant.
To
They
be
weren't that
fair,
distant.
though, interbreeding has been in the Blossom line forever.
That
Nana
actually
probably
makes
had to
it,
do it herself.
That actually makes it worse.
Yeah.
Isn't it a thing? It's supposed to be a thing anyway. That's how
Yeah.
you keep the money in the family. That's how you keep the
blood pure.
that shit. Oh,
That's
yeah.
also
Yeah.
how you get terrible genetic diseases.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Whenever
But,
there's any talk of inbreeding and like marrying in the family, I'm just like, look at the fucking Russian oligarchy, like that shit, the Russian royalty.
It's okay though. Jason is not a blossom.
He's
In
not a
generals, no. He's not a blossom.
What is
Jason's.
I don't know. Blossom. This is my theory. My theory back from season 1 that Jason wasn't a blossom, and now if Nana Rolls knows that Polly is a blossom, and she was so encouraging of Jason and Polly's relationship, I don't think Jason is a blossom.
Maybe. I
Would
mean,
that
we were
mean
thinking-
Cheryl's
we were thinking
not a
that
blossom
Archie-
either?
Wait,
Well,
isn't Jason and Cheryl twins?
They're twins.
twins.
Yeah.
we have been told that they're twins.
They fucking look like they're twins.
Mm-hmm.
But how many fucking pale-faced redheads do we have in this town?
Well, didn't we
lot.
say that Archie? We think Archie's a blossom.
Yeah, I think he's part of that family, some way, some form.
Yeah.
Well, the mom.
because
The mom. The
through
mom's
Mary, because she's a redhead.
Before I even started watching this show, I think you, Nikki, and Dom were saying something about hair color and being in the family, and then I was like, wait, but Archie has red hair and his parents don't.
Mary.
His mom. His mom does.
Oh, his mom
Yes.
does. Okay.
Yeah. So he definitely got the redheadedness from her. So where did she get it from? Dun,
Well,
dun, dun.
there was a lot of like redheaded anti-ness going on for the first few episodes of the season.
Yeah.
I felt
they were-
I felt attacked.
Aw.
That's true. I remember you saying that. with that, I think we're gonna close out this episode, and so that means Kim, where can the people find you?
On Twitter's at HUFFITY, PUFFITY.
Jake?
You can find me and all of my Giggles and Gore and Monsters and Mayhem here on YouTube and Twitch at Jacob Salazar. Or you can find me on Twitter, tweet me throughout the life at ToNowerland. That is TONOWHERELAND. Join the Nowerland Society.
Sweet. Chrissy?
You can find me at Cleomoto on Twitter and Twitch.
Awesome. And you can find me on Twitter also at LadyVenom24, LadyYVENOM24. You can find all of us and more on ASOTV podcast on YouTube for our VODs. Here on Twitch live for our podcast live. Also on Twitter, Facebook, Google Plus, MySpace, and then we do have a Discord where people can come in and leave comments and talk with people with like-minded individuals about your favorite TV shows and more. So
that's hashtag Discord. It's a thing.
It is a thing. I'm pretty sure the link for our Discord will be down below in our info boxes, so be sure to check that out. And thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we'll see you again next time.
Bye. Someone has to teach me how Discord works. I still don't understand.